Today I have governor candidate for the Constitution Party, Brandon McIntyre. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. Hi, my name is Brandon McIntyre, and I'm with the Constitution Party of Florida. Actually, with the Constitution Party itself. Um, I'm actually a nice young citizen that's actually trying to give back to our taxpaying citizens, candidate for Florida. I just want you guys to know that we are into trying to make sure that we have a beneficial uh, um, society within our community. Okay, what I mean by society is that we want to make sure that we can give back to our taxpaying citizens and create a society that gives back to our taxpaying citizens, not actually take from the home, but give back to the actually people that deserves to be given back. That's actually been part of the community. So what Let's Go Brandon want to do is I want to make sure that I actually give back to you all and make sure that we have a substantial obligation to actually coming together. No racism at all. Just coming together and to give something back that's phenomenal for our kids, our grandkids, our grandbabies, and our future to come.
Sounds good. Now, I noticed you say no racism. Do you also condemn? Would you condemn black-only schools?
Would I condemn black only schools? Why would I?
Well,
No
because
reason why.
sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, 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 you're good. Go
No, you
ahead.
go ahead.
So I was saying
Uh,
because black-only schools allow the admissions of only black students, which would deprive white students from going to that school. And also, it involves affirmative action, meaning us, the taxpayers, have to pay for their education as well.
okay, but don't you remember back in the day that we used to have white only schools that condemn black kids from participating? Okay, so no, I would not just condemn black only schools. This is not about racism. It's about making sure that every Floridian has a drive and a thrive to grow. This is not about racism. Period.
So I got what you're saying. But the point I'm trying to make though would be I don't I don't support white only schools. I don't support black only schools. I don't support what America has done in the past. Although I don't think the way to get over the speed bump is by applying more racism. And what I mean by that is for black only schools, for black children, for black adults, they're actually held to a far less standard whenever it comes to their GPA in high school to actually get in. Where if a white student wanted to go to school, he has to be held to this actual standard itself, as well as having to pay for his college.
Well, I believe in equal opportunity. I believe in equal federal government loans that goes towards our students as well to make them productive and educational within our community to thrive for our municipality areas of being Floridians. I believe in that. I have no issue with actual equal opportunity and equality around the board. It's just making sure that we all get receive the proper education that we need to be productive citizens. That's all that matters to me.
Okay, so there's another thing I saw from your page on Facebook, and that had me curious. I saw you were talking about something called what the right to travel, the freedom to travel. Could you explain that? Because I'm actually kind of curious. I don't know exactly what you mean by that.
Yes, sir. We have a right to travel. We all have a right to travel within our constitutional grounds, within our constitutional rights. We have a right to travel freely. Traveling is not a privilege, and driving is not a privilege. It's actually an opportunity that supports our Constitution and our values between going therefore and to actually provide for our families, provide for our kids. I have brothers and sisters today that lawyers allow judges to take away their rights to travel because of child support. You know what I'm saying? Like because they're behind on their child support. Well, how would these guys actually support or provide for their family if they got to walk to work every day? This is not substantial. This is cruel and unusual for our government to be able to uh, base these type of bylaws or ordinances or rules upon our productive Floridian citizens that's
So
trying to strive to be. dads and great moms.
So you say driving itself. Now, just talking about driving here is not a privilege, rather it's a right. I would argue the opposite, only because, like, what would you say about the people who use their driver's license, who use their vehicle to run away from the cops, and they end up causing destruction? What about the drunk driver who's end up actually killing people from just drinking and driving itself, who'd rather, stay at the bar till midnight, and then on their way home, they end up T-boning someone, maybe a single mom who was just sitting and, once she hits that green light, they don't see that red light. They're too drunk to realize it. They just straight up T-bone them. Then would you say it's okay for a judge to revoke them of their driver's license?
Well, driver license is not even prisonable, period. A license is not even prisonable. Licenses and schemes, all right, this is what trying to get everyone to operate within their rights. You have to have a license to preach. You have a right to preach God's word. They want to actually give you a license to carry and bear arms. You have your constitutional rights allow you to bear arms. Any rules and regulation that obfuscates that or goes far and beyond that, it goes against the Constitution regardless, because the federal overrides the states bylaws, principles, or rules. So I get what you said telling me right now, but I'm a constitutional person that has a solution for every American, every citizen of Florida, to make sure that we can thrive within a community to make a better community.
Okay, so, but would you say it would be reasonable for a judge to revoke the license of somebody who has been caught drinking and driving? I mean, obviously, we have plenty of people who get caught drinking and driving, and thankfully, those particular people may not cause any harm or destruction, and the judge will, give them a strike, or they'll go to jail for a little bit, and then they'll get their license, whatever, right? They'll get points on their license, whatever it may be, right? But for those people who end up running away from the cops, who end up speeding through the city and killing somebody, hitting a car, killing a toddler in the back, would you say then it is acceptable, and rather it is best described as a privilege for that person to be driving in the first place rather than a right?
Well, until you have to be able to commit a crime, you have to have a victim, sir. Okay. So you haven't committed a crime until you have a victim, sir. All right. Running the stop sign is not a crime. All right. Until you have injured a party that has ran the stop sign, then it becomes a crime. All right. That's what I believe in. I believe in common law. I believe in common rights, which is I am a common man that's actually living on God's green earth to be a productive person for God Himself. So until I have actually obtained or pertained a victim that can actually stand with forth in front of me within court systems, then we have an issue. Okay. Other than that, unless I'm drinking and driving, or you're drinking and driving, and you run a stop sign, but you haven't injured nobody, I don't think that's breaking the law, sir. You haven't committed a crime.
Well, that is breaking the law. I mean, especially since we have flock cameras around now. For one, I'm actually against flock cameras. I think it is the government getting all in your business. I'm 100% against flock cameras. But now, in certain parts of Florida, we have flock cameras, and if it actually catches you running a stop sign, then you will receive a citation for that. So I would say, actually, yes, it is a crime to run a stop sign. Just because you don't get caught doesn't mean it's not wrong in the first place. But another thing I've known. Go ahead.
In order for you to commit a crime, so you have to have a victim. So who is the victim within you running the stop sign?
It would be the laws.
No, but the law cannot be the prosecutor and the accuser, sir.
I would disagree with that one, because laws are put in place. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying there has to be a victim for there to be a crime, right? But I see what you're saying. I disagree to a certain extent, and what I disagree with,
you can't disagree, because okay.
Ultimately, what I'm trying to get at, though, is it would be a crime. And actually, I don't think that's necessarily true. I don't think that there must be a victim for there to be a crime. As I said, as we both stated previously, whenever someone runs a stop sign, and they're drinking and driving, that itself would be a crime. It's an arrestable offense, because it puts others' lives in harm's way. Uh, there's another thing I noticed from your post. I saw something where you mentioned planes. Do you believe that people should be able to freely travel on airplanes without buying tickets?
Well, sir, that's where I go back to the licenses and schemes. The licenses and schemes are that you have to have a permit to actually operate within your right to actually protest. They want you to sign a permit, have a license to actually do something that's actually pertaining to your constitutional rights. You don't need a rights to preach. You don't need rights license to travel. You don't need these things to make sure that I abide by you guys' rules. My thing is that we all abide by rules. Okay, we abide by rules. Period. And I believe in the law. But when the law is making rules that doesn't that allows them to be able to break my constitutional rights, those are no longer rules, sir. Those are ordinance and codes to go against my constitution and God given rights. All right. It's not that I'm against the law. It's not that we're against the law, that we're out here to just to break the law. But until I have committed a crime, sir, then that's when you come actually can get me. So my thing is right, when the federal government come and pick you up for a crime, they have reasonable suspicion. They have articulable suspicion as well. They know what you done 4 5 weeks before you know you done it. Am I correct? And then they already know that you have committed these crimes. So you cannot go out here indicting people off of information. Or, oh, he ran a stop sign, that's a crime. Because your flock camera said that, oh, the information came back that he ran the stop sign. What crime have he committed it? He haven't committed no crime at all.
What's
He
the
haven't
purpose?
he don't have an injured party. Okay, he can still go home freely to his family at night without being charged by the government. He can still show love to his family because he haven't committed a crime. A lot of our people today are paying citations and tickets for unlawful reasons because we trying to afford to continue to pay for Democrats and Republicans to mislead our communities, brother. That's it. That's
So,
it.
would you call yourself a man of law and order?
I would call myself a man. I would call myself a fisherman of men. Okay, it's not about law and order. It's about actually fishing for men to make sure that we uphold ourselves at a value to become productive men, sir.
Okay, so my response to that, obviously I kind of want to move on from this topic and get into some other things. But my response to that would be, what is the purpose of a stop sign? Actually, I agree with you to a certain extent, and there is middle ground between us because I believe that you actually spoke on it before. I believe so, and all you imply with it, or you apply to it. You don't agree with actually maintaining registration on vehicles. Now, the way I believe is I think whenever someone pays the registration on a vehicle, I do believe in that, but I think it is a scam from the government just to pocket off of the money of the citizens to having to keep renew that annually. I think we can both agree there, except I think you would say you probably go as far as saying we don't need a registration at all, correct?
We don't need a registration at all. We don't need a license at all. We don't need a tag at all, because we have the right to travel, sir. All right. Thompson versus Smith. It states that that our laws and our bylaws are actually retained with the government. It's not actual when the police pull you over to actually give you a citation for a crime you haven't committed. It is void from all police activities and stuff. It's all about protecting the prosperity, the life, and the liberty of our Floridians and our citizens of America.
Would you get rid of stop signs? Obviously, I don't think as governor you can even do that. But if it was up to you, would you get rid of stop signs?
No, I would not get rid of stop signs. Of course not. I believe in reading and I believe in education. So if the stop sign tell you to stop and there's red tell you it's hot, then that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's not that I'm going to just get rid of stop signs. No, it's just that we can't be out here enforcing laws or enforcing emotional feelings because we are in debt in our municipality area. You know, I mean, I never asked you where you was from, but if your municipality area is in debt, they're gonna stop you every chance you get. You know, hey man, you didn't make a complete stop. That's a crime, but you stopped though.
I'm guilty of that myself. I actually do a lot of rolling stops everywhere. So, I'm kind of a hypocrite whenever it comes to this. But ultimately, though, I do agree, though, on the premise that you should make a complete stop because, there's a lot of stupid drivers out there, right? I might be one of them because I don't ever make those complete stops. Usually, whenever I do, it's because there's already a vehicle in front of me that's like forcing me to make this stupid complete stop, right? Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Me and you agree on one thing. You say, people have the right to travel. You don't believe in driver's licenses or tags or whatnot. I can agree to a certain extent, but I would say we already do have the right to travel in the first place because you don't need a vehicle to travel. You can, first of all, you can use public transportation. You have your legs. You have a bike. There is plenty of options that you can use without actually having to pay to travel places. And I would go as far as to say, like, I don't know if you ever watch Chris Hansen, right? I like watching Chris Hansen on my free time. There's a lot of people who actually use his vehicles to actually go to these places to meet up with 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, who is like 40-year-old dudes. I would say stripping them, revoking them of their driver's license, of their ability to actually go somewhere, to prevent them in the future of committing these heinous crimes, would be actually a good thing. So that's my argument why I think driving is a privilege rather than a right. Now, yes, that person can walk there, right? Like, I can understand that point, but that's also why we don't allow these people back in society. But anyways, I wanted to touch on with you and James Fishback. I know that you've made some posts on Facebook calling out James Fishback, saying, hey, you can't run, you can't hide, come over here to my county and I want to debate, right?
Right.
What is the main things you disagree with James Fishback running for governor? Because ultimately, this is no attacking you on a personal level or any way, right? I think you're a good guy. You seem like a very nice person. But James Fishback is way, way, way higher up in the polls than you are. So what would his interest be in actually debating you? Now, before you respond to that, I would say it's a good thing to actually have you debate him, because I think the people should actually have the right to listen to all sides of every single party. I agree with that premise right there. But what is like the main topics that you actually disagree with him on?
Well, my thing is, I see more talking and less action. Okay. So if you're a man of action, you can tell me all day and all long that you can that you're the best shooter, 3-point shooter in basketball. But until I see that, then you are not nothing to me. Okay. My thing is, it's not about me beefing with James Fishback or Fishback want to beef with me, or he more higher pole than I, and I'm at a different caliber than him. But my thing is this right here, brother. All I see is just talk, no action, brother. Like what policies are you going to push? What bills have you submitted besides what Let's Go Brandon has as well? What have you done at the state capitol to actually say that you've been here for the people and you listen to the people? I'm not a vote chaser. Okay, I'm not here to chase people votes. Either I win or I don't. Because at the end of the day, I'm still going to win because my agenda is still going to be pushed. I don't care about the popularity or the more views you have, or how much Facebook is paying you, or how much your political party allowing you to fundraise or gather. Because 9 times out of 10, if you don't win, are you going to give those people their money back? No, you're not.
So I mean, I definitely agree with the premise. Like, I think a lot of people should come to determination for themselves on. They need to look deeper into the candidates themselves rather than the party, right? Because unfortunately, Donald Trump, as you know, has endorsed Byron Donalds as Florida governor. I hope he does not win. I think me and you can both agree right there. But anyways, a lot of people, they vote for a candidate without actually looking into the person. They vote for him just based off of the president's endorsement, right? But you say he has
the money that they can fundraise. That's what they look at. If I ever raise over $2 million, they would even. I wouldn't even be here today talking to you, brother. You know what I mean? You know, I won't be able to do what I do today, but everything that I'm doing is organically done. It's self driven. It's not about a party for one. It's not about endorsements for two. Because if you don't get the right hamburger that you want, you're gonna want a refund. All right. And I'm not here to give out refunds. I'm here to make sure I stand on principles, make sure I stand on actual what I say I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna make sure that I can do these things before I tell people that I can do these things. Like he said something about making every student in Florida wear uniforms. All right, how are you going to do that, brother? How are you going to actually help the third class citizens to come up with a budget, okay, to support their kids to go back and forth to school with your uniform? All right, we all understand that the regret, the redress grievance, and the doing things in a mannerable way, in a mannerable fashion. We get it. I mean, that's the American dream. We believe in uniforms. We believe in doing things in a professional way. All right. So, but how are you going to implement these things? So, every governor candidate out there, that's what I'm telling them. Every last one. It's not about James Fishback. It's about Bobby. It's about Paul. It's about doggone Byron. It's about all of them. You guys making these people these promises, but we all know when you get in office, you're not going to do what you say you're going to do. That's the issue that we've been having for the longest with Democrats and Republicans. I was raised in a Democrat home, but I grew to believe and understand that nothing to Democrat and there's nothing to Republicans because our tax-paying dollars pay for you and I. You a soldier, I'm just a regular citizen. Okay, they told us that we have to learn the what Constitution for people, your people, to learn how to read and write. All right, period. So I know I'm the better candidate, but they don't want to give me the actual momentum that I need because I would have a greater following besides Byron or Fishback or Paul or the Democrat Jolly or whoever they may be. Okay, I mean it's just that I'm just too authentic for their belief.
So
Yes, sir.
I have a statement and I have a question following up the statement. For one, you addressed or you asked, what is Fishback's plan like? Or rather, you said Fishback, he wants to impose the uniforms in the school systems of the state of Florida, but there's no way of actually supporting these families of doing so. Keeping up with the having new uniforms every year. It basically has to come out of their own pockets, or whenever they're already struggling in the first place. But James Fishback has already spoke on that. He is allotting families $500 a year. I believe is actually $500 per student, $500 per kid that they have a year to buying them school uniforms. And so it doesn't actually come out of the parents' own pockets. And for two, I would say, you talked about saying, well, you don't have the support, people don't want to give you the support, but I would argue if you ran as a Republican or ran as a Democrat, a lot of people do this actually. A lot of people run in the two party system, but they don't believe like a Democrat. They don't believe like a Republican. They run in the party, like Florida's a deep red state, as you know. So the best strat of actually getting in that position of office would be running as a Republican to get those Republican votes and then say, but you don't have to govern like a Republican for say, right? There's a lot of people who do that. For example, you look at Nikki Haley back whenever she was running for president. She believes nothing like a Republican. Actually, I would say she's a lot more left-leaning in a lot of ways. But why did you make the decision, though, to do the fifth biggest political party rather than the number one or the number two? If you're so hell-bent of actually bringing a change to the state of Florida, wouldn't you rather just, I mean, it's going to sound bad, but wouldn't you rather just Trojan horse your way in?
No, not at all, because I'm not a Trojan. I'm not a virus. I'm not a horse. Okay, I'm just here to actually speak the truth, and that's what they hate. They hate us truth tellers, brother. That's all. They hate truth tellers, and that's a narcissistic issue within our system. All right. They hate the simple fact that we can tell the truth and see the truth and be able to pinpoint the truth and lead people to an actual direction that actually supports us all. Uh, I mean, you gotta look at your electricity in your home. And I said this in my presidential speech, and you told me that you listened to my presidential speech, right?
Yes, sir.
What makes that light work? What makes that light work? A black and white wire, brother. Okay, so you have a positive, you have a ground. I mean, without the black wire, it would be no white wire. Without the no white wire, there'd be no black wire. So my thing is, brother, it's about actually coming together and doing something great, greater than the two-party systems that try to keep us divided, to go against one another, to cause division. Because the Lord that I serve is not an author of division. Okay, that's it. That's why they don't. Because I exposes everything. I exposes it. Like I told you before, I didn't go to school to learn how to be a Democrat. I didn't go to school to learn how to be a Republican. And guess what? Our taxpaying dollars were spent on us to go to school to learn what? We the people, the preamble, and the Constitution.
I have a question. It's a genuine question. I actually don't know. I'm just wondering. Has there actually ever been any candidate who's won some sort of office who ran on behalf of the Constitution Party?
There was what's his name? His name was I forget his name. Since you asked me that question, I forget his name right now at the moment. But he ran for president of the United States. Okay, he almost won. His name gonna come to me here soon. But yes, we had a candidate that actually almost won the president of the United States. All right, against I think it was Bush, if I'm not mistaken, Bush and I forget who else ran against him, but Bush. But yeah, but to make a long story short, we have had a candidate that's doing the same, that has done these things, and I will be the second party to do it. I mean, the second candidate to do it. And we also have some candidates right now that's running for governor in other states as well with the Constitution Party. And right here in Florida, we have large, big population of voters registration with the Constitution Party. Okay, and the thing about it is that our party is an older party, but we're regrowing. We're actually rebuilding. We have some members that could be deceased or not, or still be living, but not entwined with our party because there've been a lot of brainwashing going on within Republicans and Democrats to people don't even understand or even believe in the Constitution anymore. So I mean, like I was talking to you earlier about how is it that we can go to war without Congress actually declaring war? Okay, so if nobody in the United States heard that Congress declared us to go to war, I mean, the president doesn't has that much power to orchestrate our troops to go to war without Congress permission. He can orchestrate them to go there and sit here for a minute, or go there and be bodyguards. He has that authority, but declaring war, no, sir. Congress has not even passed the first bill or the first signature to say that we're going to war. They're just clueless to me within the Democratic and the Republican system that we are actually still believing that they are actually trying to send our troops away, our family members away, to die for a system that doesn't even support us. We have citizens and veterans right now that can't even afford life insurance. Okay, we have veterans right now that can't even remember how to write their name or fill out paperwork. I mean, just be honest. Just it's sad to a degree that our president may not care or doesn't care, and it's sad to a degree that a lot of our people are lost, white and black and white are lost within this two-party system that's want to tear us all apart, bro. Like it's sad, man. Uh, it doesn't make any sense to me. Period.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
If if you're for say, let's say you got governor, right? you talk about it, which is a good thing to talk about because I agree with you there. What would you do to end that issue?
Well, I just submitted I just submitted a Florida Economic Bill of Rights for our taxpaying citizens and our Floridians. But I'm gonna refer back to what you were saying. So, what do you mean by specifically? What would I do?
So you were talking earlier saying, candidates, they'll talk about all these nice things, but whenever they get in office, they may not have a plan for it at all, or they just may not enact on it, right? Do you have a plan on
Right.
how to solve these issues?
Yes, sir. I have greater solutions to solve these issues because I am a third class citizen and I come from nothing to something. And I come from food stamps. I come from welfare parents, Social Security parents, fixed income parents. I come from these things, and I come from where we deserve a better outlook on things that actually uh, could fluctuate our homing system, our economic within our home, because you have different economic systems. You have a home economic system that allow fluctuated income to continue to come in your home to pay your bills, and you also have a public economic system that allows you to be able to make your financial situations to come into your home to make it where that you can continue to be a greater productive citizen. Okay, so yes. I'm just on a totally different level than most of these candidates, and none of them will be able to debate with me or come to try to debate with me because Brandon will expose all the characteristics, all the propaganda lies. Because if my thing is to this back is this right here, brother, is that how can you say these things and you don't even know Florida's budget? How can you say these things that you're going to do, brother, and you don't even know Florida's budget?
So have you talked to him? Have you asked him if he knows Florida's budget?
Well, my thing in this right here, brother, is that when I speak on these levels and I speak on these concerns, they run. I have civil rights attorneys that run. When I speak on actually lawful rights, they don't want to talk about lawful rights, because I'm not meaning to jump the topic or the subject, but why would the system go against itself when it's all entwined for them to make the money, you know? Like for instance, that's why I don't take no. That's why for me, my campaign, I haven't took no money from anyone. Everyone's donated. I have a GoFundMe account. If you want to go fund the account, you can go fund the account for Brandon to get on the ballot. Okay, I'm not out here trying to run a flashy campaign. I'm out here trying to actually get all these billboard signs and be on everybody's broadcasting station. Okay, I'm here to show action. I'm here to put the work in. Even if Let's Go Brandon doesn't win this year, I will win the 2028 presidential election because I'm still running for president of the United States for 2028. So this right here is going. This is pushing me to greater heights and allowing me to be who I need to be for the people who I need to be this for. So it's not about this governor's race. It's about something greater than who I am or who God want me to be. All right, that's it. I'm Let's Go Brandon. I've always been a Let's Go Brandon since my mom raised me. You know what I mean? I was Let's Go Brandon when she told me, Brandon, come on, let's go, Brandon, let's go home, baby. I've been Let's Go Brandon. I've been Let's Go Brandon. And this is something that I've been living with for the whole time. And I ran for president of the United States for 2024. And I know they got this ideal, this ideology, this theory for me. And it's spiritually divine. Okay? Period. It's spiritually divine. And they can't knock it. They can't understand it. And that's why they haven't sent me a message to come sit at their table. Because I bring a table of my own. Yes, sir.
Okay, random question. One thing James Fishback talks about a lot of whenever he's going to do whenever he's governor is he's going to completely divest all the money that state has given to Israel and Israeli bonds. Would you do that as governor?
But how will he do that?
Well, it's easy. It's
I mean,
first DeSantis is the one who signed it off.
but how would DeSantis do that? I'm getting ready to go serve him a constitutional notice as well about land taxes. Okay, period, point blank. So okay, but I get what you're telling me, and I don't want to jump the subject because you asked me a question. I don't want to sound arrogant or boastful. It's just that how would he do that? I mean, where would that budget come from? Where would those funds come from?
So right now in just the city of Tallahassee alone, we have $385 million in Israeli bonds, which is state money. The governor has the authority to withdraw state money whenever it comes to bonded or bonds like that. James Fishback, as governor, he does have the authority to withdraw that funding from Israeli bonds. Now, if you're asking me what specific paperwork he signs or what does he do, I have no idea because I've never been a governor before. I'm sure he knows. I'm sure he's looked into it, but me personally, I haven't actually looked into how a governor gets all that stuff done. But what I do know, though, is that he is 100% against sending any sort of money to any foreign country whenever it comes to, on the state level. Now, we would actually use that money to, for example, give teachers a 25% pay raise because that money can afford that kind of thing. Would so the back the
Okay, but have you asked yourself this question?
What's up?
Okay, have you asked yourself this question? No mean to cut you out.
No, you're good.
Why would the state, why would the states be sending Israel money?
That's a good question. Well, for one, I love Ron DeSantis. I think Ron DeSantis did a pretty good job as governor, but there are some hiccups that he done that I do not agree with. That being one of them, right? This all links back to, this is controversial to say, but I think our country is ultimately owned by Benjamin Netanyahu, and I think that's where all this stuff stems from personally. But that's why I think that we done it. Also, people have this understanding that because Israel is God's chosen land and Jews is God's chosen people, therefore we must send them billions of dollars. I don't agree with that. I think that our money should be put to the benefit of our people. Back to the question, though, it's a yes or no answer. Would you withdraw that funding from Israel?
My thing is this right here, brother, and that's a yes or no question. And I would say no, I would not. I would not withdraw the funds back from Israel because whatever they done before I came along, that's over with. Okay, I come to bring forth a new table, a new system that's going to provide for each and every last Floridians. I'm not here to cause chaos between Israel and the United States, or the United States or Israel or Iran, Iraq, whatever it may be. I'm here for a new era, which is great. You know what I mean? I'm here for a new era that's going to actually allow our citizens, our Americans, to succeed, to provide, and to be able to take care of our elders, our grandmoms, our grandbabies, and our families, and to be able to make it a community within our municipality areas. Like they tell you right now. I mean, look at your roles in your community. You know what they're gonna tell you? Go talk to your commissioner. You know what they're gonna tell you? Go talk to your city council. But where are those funds going? Where are those funds coming from? You pay probably 30, 40, 50 bucks on your registration to get your tag renewed when you don't even need it. Where's that money going? It's a shame, bro. It's a shame.
Part of that money is going to Israel.
Okay, I get it, but if it's going to Israel now, then we're going to make sure that Israel keep it, and we don't want no more dealings, and we're going to make sure that we thrive for Americans and Floridians, okay? So, like I said, and also my presidential speech as well, and my presidential interview is that America is a system, all right? We have to know or have a financial stability to know what's going out and what's actually coming in for our states and our citizens of our states, and actually understand a system that's actually going to actually give back to the ones that actually are true Americans. It's not about color. It's not about race. That's what I told you when we first started this conversation. It's not about any of that. This is a system that doesn't give back to we the people. That's it. It's a system that don't give a fuck about our veterans. Excuse my French. It's a system that doesn't care about if you have mental illness and you just received your check yesterday and you don't have nothing else because your bills took it away. You know, come on. I mean, come on. And you served our country. Come on, man. It's like, I mean, come on, man. I mean, they don't want me to be who I'm destined to grade out to be. It's a shame that they rather laugh at me or make it seem like the race car driver said, "Let's go, Brandon," or make it seem like the whole time they were saying "F Joe Biden," but they already knew who "Let's Go, Brandon" was because I was the youngest candidate to run for the president of the United States at the age of 35, and they didn't want it to be known because the people would have leaned towards me besides Kamala Harris and besides Joe Biden or whoever else that was trying to even get into office. It's just the truth.
So wait, are you implying that you think these like the president during the time knew you existed and was running against him? As like I'm curious, like that's what I'm kind of getting out of this because I know about the whole "Let's Go Brandon" thing with the NASCAR, right? Are you saying that came from your campaign specifically, or did you take that for your campaign?
No, sir, they came from my campaign specifically. Okay. Because I always ask my highly favorite of a campaign slogan to actually do what I need to do. And "Let's Go Brandon" was a slogan. And I actually ran up on the "Let's Go Brandon" as a slogan. And I actually ran, I didn't get everything situated, patterned, or propagandated like it's supposed to be. So that because at the system and the area or the prestige that I was at the moment of trying to become this who I'm trying to be. So yes, they may have it pat and they may have it this and that and the third or whatever, whatnot, but they know who actually they know where it come from. Okay, honestly.
Okay, that's actually interesting to hear. You know, I've heard that term, and whenever I first saw your page and I saw you were, you know, rocking the "Let's Go Brandon," I was curious because I saw you ran for president in 24, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't know which came first here, and I'm actually glad you touched on that because you know, now I know that. Um,
You know what?
so
Donald Trump wore the in Donald Trump inauguration. You can go back and you can look at my picture. He wore the same tie I wore at my presidential campaign speech. The same exact tie. The same exact tie.
my question is,
They I'll be honest with you, they don't uh-huh.
if
Go
this
ahead.
came from you, if this came from you, why didn't you get a lot more recognition? And I know you would say, I know you said, oh, because they, you know, they want to keep me down or they want to keep you down and they don't want you actually going into office and all this good stuff, right? But these people who were supporters of Trump had this in their bios, had this on their profiles for the longest time. And if I would think that they would probably look at the origins where that slogan came from. Uh, do you think do you think they're like the other party specifically kind of kept you out of it and like they actually saw you, they recognized you and they're like, yeah, we don't need this guy, and they just kind of like I guess you would say kept you down like personally. And the reason I say that is
Well,
because
I
like I've never heard of you before till the other day. A lot of people's never heard of you before till the other day. Like I can tell you, a lot of my friends who work in politics, I was actually talking to them about you, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, we've never seen this guy." I know someone who's running for Congress personally, and then I asked him, and he's like, "Yeah, I've never seen this guy or heard of this guy before." That's why I'm asking. Is I don't know. I just
they,
want to know more about that.
they've seen they've never seen me at all, but they've heard of me. They chanted my name. They chanted me as an individual, but to go against a different party. They don't even know why they were chanting my name, okay? But the whole time, the Democrats and Republicans knew who Let's Go Brandon really were. I chose not to be a Democrat. I could have been a Democrat party and got all the publicity that I needed. I could have been in the Republican Party and got all the publicity that I needed up on the Let's Go Brandon. Well, since I decided not to and go with the Constitution Party, which is the third biggest party within the United States, okay, come on,
So
because I'm here for a. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Sorry. Go ahead. I want you to finish.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm here for a greater cause. It's not about Democrats or Republicans because we've been lied to both. We've been lied to by both party systems. We have Republicans, Democrats that lie to us when they get in office, and we also have Republicans that lie to us when they get in office. I mean, we understand that you guys say these things that you're going to do for these people that's actually going to go to your campaign or go to your congregation or your synagogue to hear you speak about your political issues or what you can give or what you can try to do. But my thing is the system going to allow you to do these things? You know that you get. My thing is, if no solutions with just, oh yeah, I'm a this and that, you have no solution, then the system's not going to listen to you because they think that they know it. Period. You know, we just allow you here. We just allow you to sit down. But if you don't have no solution, you know
So,
what I mean?
yeah, yeah, I got you. Two questions. I don't know how long you want to be on here, so I'll try not to keep you up, too long. But two questions heading your way.
However long you want to go.
All right,
However long you want to
all right,
go.
sounds good. Sounds good. So, I want to know your view on the Second Amendment. I want to actually know what you believe on the Second Amendment because you call yourself a constitutionalist, and I would like to get into that because that's the first thing that comes to my head whenever I think of the Constitution.
See, I love you, brother, and I love your enthusiasm and your questions, uh, brother. The Second Amendment, bro, is like this right here. We have the right to bear arms, correct?
Right?
All right. So it's like this right here with me. And a lot of people don't understand where I come from with this, but the laws that I'm going to make sure that actually going to get passed for our Second Amendment rights is actually going to restore the Second Amendment rights. Okay, the right to bear arms. Just because you actually commit a felony theft doesn't mean that you can't be able to protect or carry your arms. Okay, so they say if you have a felon, you cannot carry arms. Am I correct? You are not allowed or you're not obligated to do that. Okay. So if you got a receiving stolen property that's in a felony range, then guess what, brother? I feel like you should be able to carry and bear arms. Okay, so these laws and bylaws that the system has that's restricting our constitutional rights are actually observed. They're obsolete. They're actually here to hinder we the people. Okay, they're actually here to make sure that you don't get no higher than a nigger. All right, which is knee high. And my thing is, we have white brothers and sisters that can't get no above, no higher than knee high, so they considered niggers too. You get what I'm telling you? So this is just let's go, Brandon, just telling you the truth because I don't believe in racism. What makes that light work is a white and black wire. And this is why Fishback, Byron, and all the rest of them don't want to debate. Let's go, Brandon, because I will make the people listen and vote for me. And that's why they don't want to hear it.
So I know, the debate being hosted between is actually being hosted by Fox News and CBS. CBS on July 15th and Fox News on July 21st. Have you reached out to these news organizations for you to actually be able to go on that debate stage?
Yes, I have reached out to numerous of people to debate with news broadcasting stations and whatever whatnot. But my thing is right here with this, brother, is that the people that's running for governor is public information. Okay, I shouldn't have to reach out to a new broadcasting station that actually supposed to support my First Amendment right. You get me? If I'm obligated to be on the ballot or if I'm obligated to be in the system to be running as a candidate, they should reach out to me. Okay, I shouldn't have to reach out to them because see, our broadcasting and our stations should be based on protecting our First Amendment right for one, which is the freedom of press. Okay, not just in the newspaper, but actually pressing our media and our outlets and stuff as well. Okay, so I shouldn't have to if I'm in a federal based system running for governor, I shouldn't have to reach out to Fox News or ABC News to just get a decline. All right.
Yeah, I got you. And I agree with you on that. I think if you're running, especially for a position like governor, we're not talking about county commissioner, we're not talking about mayor, we're not talking about, city council. We're talking about the governor over a whole state. I think that you should be on the
Whole
debate
state.
stage. I think that you should be on there, and I imagine you put some sort of funding in your campaign. I don't know how much you've actually funded your campaign. Nor do I care to know. But especially whenever you have invested your own personal money in yourself to try and actually fight for the people, because look, we disagree on a lot of things between me and you, but one thing I don't believe is I don't think that you don't care about the state. I genuinely do think that you do care about the state of Florida. I think, I agree with you whenever it comes to, I think that they should have you on the debate stage. I don't see why not, right? Actually, I believe, what's his name? I think his name was like Ross Perot or something like that. He was an independent who was running for governor, and he actually got pretty high in the polling. And if you actually, this is pretty similar to the situation with RFK Jr. back in 2024. As RFK Jr., he was not invited on the same debate stage as the other candidates. RFK Jr., he was
Mm-hmm.
running as an independent, and he was polling. Some polls said he was polling 30% of the country, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a large number for an independent running for president. And
Yeah.
it's really large. And so, anyways, but back in the '90s, I think his name is Ross Perot. I could be wrong on that, but he actually was on the presidential debate stage. I can't remember who he was running against. I believe he was running against. I think he was running against Bush. Uh, I think, but anyways, he was on the debate stage. And what gets me is, and actually, here's another question that popped up. I know you mentioned earlier that there was actually a candidate who almost won presidency who was running on behalf of the Constitution Party. Was he on the debate stage?
I think so, sir. Don't get me lying to you. I got to do mine. His name was Castle. I think Paul Castle. If I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. You're right. His name was Paul Castle, but by me just not getting to the Constitution Party, and by me running for president of the United States within the 2024 area, I'm just actually within the process of rebuilding the Constitution Party. But I know of history of Mr. I think it's Mr. Paul Castle. So don't get me to lying to you about the actual history of the Constitution Party, because I'm here to rebuild the party and rebuild its foundation on what we stand on. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Uh, well, there's one more question that I have for you, and I'm going to wrap this up because we're breaking on an hour here. My last question to you is: I know earlier you said unless you want to stay longer, it doesn't matter to me. But the
No
question
problem.
I have for you though is I know earlier you said you would not revoke that money from Israel, from state money invested in Israeli bonds. Now, recently, Governor DeSantis actually went to Israel and he signed a law that basically says it is now illegal in Florida to be quote unquote anti Semitic, and you can actually be charged with it. Would you do anything to repeal that law from existence?
Well, see, the thing is about it, about being anti-Semitic, when repealing it, and yes, I will actually repeal a lot of things that Ron DeSantis has done. And what I want to speak on too, to answer your question, is yes. Okay, I would. Okay, because in fact, there's a lot of things that the JAG lawyer has done that's unconstitutional within our system, and there's a lot of things that the military JAG officer has signed that's not actual constitutional, that actually supports these citizens and the Floridians of Florida. So, as me being your future governor of Florida, I would have to go back and like I was in this in the law in the legislative session this year and listen to everything that's proposed to be passed. So it's a lot of things within those matter that I would have to go back into and unoppose, okay, and re put back checks and balances on the situations of certain laws and certain things that was passed that's not constitutional. So there's a lot of things to answer your question is yes, but there's a lot of things that's bigger than that. Okay, that has to go back and be actually reprimanded to be not lawful, unlawful. Okay, and I don't want to get on those terms of what things, but I know a couple of them. But for one, it's land taxes. He's getting ready to propose a situation for the voting for land taxes, which I don't think is actual right. Okay, it's unconstitutional for one. All right, and I don't want to speak too much on it tonight or today, but just know it's unconstitutional and it's breaking a couple articles. But my thing is, how do you say, or how can you say that you're a JAG lawyer but don't know this? How can you say that you are a military officer, a lawyer, or whatever it may be, but don't know this? Okay. And I've been to his office of service with my constitutional notice. But he's going to get it, him and his general attorney, whoever he, I don't know who he is, but whoever he might be. They all going to get a constitutional notice, okay?
Okay. Now you said land tax. I assume you're referring to property tax. So you're actually for property tax.
No, I'm against property tax.
Okay. Okay. So I misheard you there. All right. Well, was there anything else you would like to dive into while you're on here?
Well, the reason why I would be against property taxes is that uh, how is it that you're going to cover that deficit? All right, who's going to pay for it? And a lot of our Republicans support it. Fishback support it. All of them support it, but they don't even know the Florida budget for this year because it haven't even came out yet. But you support something.
Okay. Wait. Wait.
I
Wait.
mean, come on, man.
Okay. So you are for keeping property tax, then, correct?
Yes, I would love for you to continue to pay your property taxes. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll tell you why I'm personally against it, right? Like, forget Fishback, forget all these other Republicans. I'll tell you why, me personally, why I'm against it. I'm against it because I believe whenever you buy a piece of land, whenever you take $80,000, $100,000, and you buy a piece of land, I believe that land that you bought is yours. I believe that you own the right to own that land. I don't think that you should have to rent from the government to keep paying for something that you already own. Essentially speaking, the government is your tenant, or you are the government's tenant whenever it comes down to that. I'm 100% against property tax. I believe that it is all a scam from the government. I believe that it is just a way for them to make more money. I believe that what you
Okay.
buy is what you own, and you should not have to continue paying for it.
Okay. Well, what are you a Democrat or are you a Republican?
So I'm a registered Republican, but I don't necessarily would say I'm a hardcore Republican. As you know, we spoke about earlier, I'm actually not a very big fan of Donald Trump, right? I don't follow Donald Trump on everything single thing. If I had to give Donald Trump a grade through his presidency, I'd probably give him a B minus, a C plus. And there's
Okay.
a lot of things
It's
he's
not about
done.
what is
Sorry, go ahead. You're
uh
kind of breaking out. What is it?
well, this is not even about Donald Trump at all.
Yeah.
I asked you, was you a Democrat or a Republican? Okay. All right. Well, my thing is right here, brother, is that the Democrat and the Republicans supported tax land taxes to
Right.
be okay. They supported it, brother. So why would you create a system to get rid of it and not give people back their money? Our ancestors that's paid land taxes, your great grandmama that paid her land taxes just so your mama could have a great place to stay, maybe, or some land or some farm land left for the family. All we had to do is pay some land taxes. So if you're gonna create a system to get rid of a system, then what about our reprimands? We need to give us back our ancestry dollars, buddy, because because if you're gonna get rid of it now, that means we had no business paying it. Period. Okay.
So yeah, I would say to that,
Period.
I asking for reimbursement from your family through all those years, your ancestors and whatnot. If we could figure out a way to do that, sure, I'm for it as long as it's within our budget. But I don't think the answer to this problem is by saying, oh well, since we can't reimbursement, since we can't reimburse the people from it, we're just not going to get rid of it at all. I think you have to choose the lesser
What
of
the
the two evils here.
what the Democrats what the Democrats and Republicans created the system. They passed the law to do it.
Right. And I'm not saying, like
So
I
why?
said earlier, I
So,
don't agree with every single thing the Democrats or Republicans have done. Like I said, I'm registered a Republican, but I wouldn't necessarily
Mhm.
call myself a Republican. Now, just because
I'm gonna ask
some.
you.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you a question.
What's up?
So, how much do you pay? How much do you pay in insurance on your vehicle?
So right now I live with my parents, but insurance wise, he's talking about like life insurance, vehicle insurance. In total, I pay
Yeah,
probably, what is it?
vehicle insurance.
I'm only 20 years old, so that's going to have an effect on how much I pay for vehicle insurance. It's probably like $180, $200 a month.
Okay, so when you get this live with me, go ask your mom or your dad or your great aunt how much money do they pay for full coverage a month within insurance, okay? And then when they give you that number, I want you to do me a favor, okay? As your future governor for Florida, I want you to go do the math on how much ever they told you, all right, to the 12th month, recycling to a new year. How much money did they pay that uh, insurance company without having a wreck, without having a deer hit them, without having anything wrong, okay? Now, when you calculate all that up, what I want you to do is figure out how much your tires was worth. Okay. Now, I want you when you figure out how much money your mom paid on one single tire, she has four of them on her car. If you go figure out how much your mom paid for one of them, you will automatically know how much she paid for four of them. And then once you do that, I want you to add up all your month that you pay insurance and see how many set of tires you got. And our insurance company can't even send you a set of tires within that 12 months for being a great driver, a safe driver. Okay, they can't even send you a set of tires, bro.
Yes,
A
I'm
set of
actually
tires.
I'm against insurance companies in general. Actually, I think insurance companies are thieves. So I think we agree right there. Actually, so one of my family members has a whole situation going on right now where he's fighting with an insurance company because they're not wanting to. Basically, what ended up happening. I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say any names. But basically, what ended up happening was somebody ran into his trailer, his work trailer, where he has all his tools, and they broke a ton of tools, and they're not willing to actually like give him a full reimbursement on how much that stuff is actually worth. And I am 100% against
Mhm.
insurance companies. I mean, a few years back, I got rear-ended at a red light, and I was driving my mom's vehicle, where it was a little Honda Accord, and it's a 2016 Honda Accord. Someone came and rear-ended me at a red light, and then her insurance company wasn't even going to pay for all the damages. Actually, they were trying to get the cheapest parts they could possibly get for aftermarket parts for it, and say, "Oh, well, it's good enough, right?" And it's like, no, I want it restored back in its original state. But yeah, I agree with you. Insurance companies, they're a bunch of thieves. I think that they should do a lot more for their clients. But the sad reality is that they don't. But yeah, I'm actually against insurance companies.
Right, but but the analogy that I gave you, have you ever heard any other candidate put it that way? See, if you're paying that much money within your car insurance, that much of money, you set of tires that you could accumulate to drive safely on the road back and forth within traveling, you know. So no candidate is actually thinking about the concept and the perception of giving back to taxpaying citizens. They may have a lot of people viewing them or watching them, or maybe have the right fundings or people put money behind them to make the ballots, but they don't have the solutions that Let's Go Brandon has. As well as Donald Trump didn't have the solution that I had, as well as Joe Biden didn't have the solutions that I had for our taxpaying citizens of America. Because it was Let's Go Brandon supporting communities across America. That's what it was about. That's what it was. But now you got these other candidates that want to sound like Brandon, listen to Brandon and take his ideas and finalize them or make them theirs. I get it, okay, and I understand, but don't harm or forget the messenger, right? Because what I'm doing right now is sowing seeds, okay? And while me sowing seeds within the universe is gonna grow, but it's always gonna come back to the sower, right? So whatever fish back them may think that they are listening or entwining to what I'm saying and they want to go implement, because nobody was talking about insurance, so I started talking about insurance. Was anybody talking about giving back to taxpaying citizens? So I started talking about taxpaying citizens. And you can see this in their speeches. You can see this when they know when you getting millions, when you getting a couple thousand views on Facebook or whatever, whatnot, and you know they're watching. This is not like we're you know what I mean? They're watching. They're watching, bro. And they always gonna tell you, I don't know who you is. I don't know. I never heard of you. They gonna always tell you that, but they've heard of you, bro. All right? They've heard of you. But they're not gonna give you your just due because they don't want to. They don't want to. They want you to know that they was listening. Okay? They don't want to let you know that, bro. So what I'm telling you right now, tell Fishback, come see me, man. When you get time to talk to him, tell him come see me because I have a real great conversation for him. And no other candidate will be able to sit down and talk with Let's Go Brandon because they know who I am. So don't try to go do all these new things because y'all heard me speak about it as your future governor and president of the United States, the youngest candidate of 2024. Y'all know who I am. Democrats, Republicans, you national leaders, you know exactly who I am. So stop sending your puns to try to make it seem like they're doing the just do when the whole time Let's Go Brandon been doing it. Okay? Tell them
Yes,
that.
sir. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up right now. We're over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes in. Well, thank you for letting me have you on the show.
Yes, sir, and I appreciate you. Anytime you want to get back at me or interview me or for some other questions, or you see something that you're concerned about, or you see anything that you want to ask, or a couple questions that you want to ask, any way that I can help you out with your podcast or your intervention, just let me know, brother. I'm all about actually building relationships with people. I'm also all about actually growing relationships. It's not that I'm always right. It's just that I just want to listen to people that want to be right and want to be able to be heard. And I thank you so much for allowing yourself to invite me on your show so you can be heard within the media of your fan base and my fan base as well. Which when you get this back to me, I'm going to upload it and share it to where it need to be. But I just want you to know, brother, I appreciate you so much and I love you so much. And don't think Let's Go Brandon's a bad person. It's just that I'm time traveling. Okay, I'm time traveling and I'm doing something that God want me to do. Okay.
Yes,
I love
sir.
you,
Well,
man.
I would love to have you on the show later on whenever that comes. And I would love to give you an interview, maybe down the months or so. But I will definitely keep in touch and have a good day.